Guys are so dumb. You do have too much audacity to be asking all these dumbass questions.
How was your day? How did you sleep? What are you doing?
What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? That's the real question. Go to the gym. Go to war. Do something useful as a man in this life. Like, chop me some wood. Get me a Starbucks refresher. Like, I don't fucking know. Oh my gosh. This is why I never date.
Now, there's a lot of guys out here that will ask more insightful questions, but I'm assuming that you're not gonna want those guys.
I would rather be tased repeatedly than approach a girl in a bar. What's the worst that happens? She says no. No, the worst that can happen is she's recording on her Meta glasses, and then you wake up in the morning to a TikTok that says denying chopped unk. It's you.
I want my wife to stay at home all day and look after the kids in the home. Cool, so you make enough money to where she doesn't have to worry about that, right? I want her to dress modest. So you're proving to her that you don't look at other women then, right? I want her to make us delicious meals every day. You're providing her with high quality ingredients, right? She can't ever be stressed out or in a bad mood. Awesome, so you're removing all stressors from her life and providing her with a life of leisure. She has to keep up with her appearance. You do know that, that costs money, right? A lot of money and a lot of time. She has to get along with my friends perfectly. So your friends aren't shitbags and know how to act. Got it. She has to respect my family exactly for what they are and who they are. Oh, so your family's respectable at all times. Got it.
If I want my wife to dress modest, she should be doing that anyway. Well, are you gonna not look at other women? Yes. Yes. Will I notice a woman is attractive? Probably. But what you're talking about is not looking at a woman with lust. If that's the case, then yes, I can agree to that. Well, I want you to cook me delicious meals. Are you going to give me high quality ingredients? Tell me you haven't cooked at all before without telling me you haven't cooked. You don't need, when we say high quality ingredients, what do we mean? What are we talking about? Oh, it's got to be organic here. You got to go to the store and get it. And basically spending a lot of money. Y'all don't understand that y'all are actually telling on yourselves. You're not fit to be a wife. Let's just start right there.
Women need to start being selfish if they haven't already. A lot of men will not respect your time, but a lot of men will. You just have to surround yourself with the right people and understand that a man who will respect you will understand why you are selfish to a degree. To a degree. I'm not saying like you have to like marry a woman who never cooks dinner. I'm trying to help you understand that when a woman feels feminine, she's a lot more pleasant to be around. Nobody wants an overly masculine woman. I was raised by one. Not my mother, but another family member. I won't get into it. Actually, I will get into it. This masculine female figure in my house is always giving, giving, giving. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but I'm saying that she's putting too much out and she's not putting enough in herself. Believe it or not, that can get really nasty. When a woman is overly giving, she's in her masculine and she just doesn't have the ability to just add value to the room simply by being there because she's performing so much. True femininity is presence over performance. You can still do nice things for your man, but overachieving is just not healthy for the feminine woman or any woman. Balance. So remember, presence over performance and presence over perfection.
I'm glad that you said if they haven't already, because a lot of women, if that's what you're saying right now, you don't need to make this video. You don't even need to make this video. They already doing.
It's been 3 months since I stopped dating and taking men seriously. Let's talk about it. When women make this choice, I think people usually assume that they're bitter and jaded. And honestly, after my last relationship, I was. But that is not where we are today. I feel like women are losing their damn minds over finding a man. I'm so tired of seeing women ask shit like, is it normal for him to not text me back in 2 days? Like, girl, you already know the Cancer. You don't need Abby the dating coach to tell you that. In my last relationship, I got so caught up with the idea of this man and being with him, I literally stopped doing everything that I loved. Stopped going to the gym, stopped making content. I was literally overextending myself for someone who wasn't even meeting me halfway. And I'm not saying walking away was easy, but October me, I don't know her. Top of the year, I'm in the gym 5 times a week. I'm funneling out content damn near every day. It's not even halfway through January and a bitch has already signed a 4-figure collab. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm telling you this because all of the energy that I was pouring into that person, I started pouring into myself. And look at where it's getting me. No matter how great the chemistry feels, if you're in a situation that's pulling you away from yourself, you need to start asking why. I need the girls to lock in. Go clock in, bitch. Be somebody. Go to the gym. Get back to your hobbies. Where is that content that you said you were gonna start posting? This isn't to say you shouldn't grieve or pretend not to care. Go through the motions if you need to. I know I did. I still think about this nigga sometimes and I'm like, damn. Dating is the last thing on my mind. And I'm not angry about it. I'm not sad. I'm just finally aware. My hope and prayer is that more of you come to terms with the fact that you are the love that you so desperately seek in others. And if you do nothing else, let your self-respect be stronger than your feelings.
You guys really need to start learning the art of balance. Y'all are sitting up here getting out of relationships and blaming it on the man because you lost yourself, because you started doing stuff and stopped doing other things. It's great to provide for your partner, to be there for your partner, to do all things for your partner, but y'all doing that. Y'all get so wrapped up in this man and what he got going on. This man is continuing to do what he needs to do while still giving you attention because he knows he's still got responsibilities. That don't got nothing to do with him. That got everything to do with you. Oh, because I didn't do this. Get your life in order. That's not the man's fault. That's on you.
My wife makes no compromises in our marriage, no sacrifices. And that's how it should be, because marrying me was supposed to make her life better.
But I assume marrying her was supposed to make your life harder? All right, let's get into this one. He starts off the core base of his argument saying, my wife makes no sacrifices in our marriage. I'm supposed to make her life easier. Why would I expect? If somebody truthfully makes zero sacrifice in a relationship, that means the relationship doesn't actually influence their decision making. Marriage adds zero restraints, therefore zero obligation. This would be less of a partnership and more of an accessory to the woman. Marriage, by definition, is binding yourself in some type of partnership with another person. Binding yourself with another person is inherently going to give yourself some form of constraint. Constraint, therefore, requires prioritization, and prioritization requires you to have a trade-off. This is not about eliminating sacrifice from one side. It's the fact that we need to remove it, that it's a one-sided obligation, and then framing it as a moral correctness. Next dumb line was, that's how it should be, because marrying me is supposed to make her life easier. This frames marriage as a one-way value transfer, framing it that making somebody's life easier doesn't remove the moral obligation that it should also be a mutual thing. Is you making their life better doesn't mean that inherently they don't have to consider you and their decisions to sacrifice for you. The next pandering line that this guy says, it's crazy that men expect women to whittle themselves away just for the man's sake. This is such a false extreme. You're equating anybody who has any expectations of the person that they are partnering with for the rest of their life as some type of control method. No, that is what happened. You're entering a relationship, a marriage. You're going to have expectations of what you want out of your partner the same way she has them for you. Mutual responsibility is not oppression. I don't know how many people need to hear that. Next ridiculous line, he says, was marrying me shouldn't be a roadblock. Yes, a roadblock because you have expectations for the potential woman you're spending the rest of your life with. It's a logical fallacy. You're making it seem like there's only two options. It's either total freedom or total control. Partner is not a roadblock in your life, but also don't treat them as if they're invisible. It's really quite simple when you think about it. Ridiculous next point, he says, realize neither party should be making sacrifices to make the relationship work. I don't know what kind of relationship this man has been in, but when you are in a relationship and you guys want two incompatible things, one of the two is going to have to adjust. Unless you're in a perfect relationship where literally you guys are one-to-one, there's not a single thing that she likes that you don't like and you like that she doesn't like. Relationship with literally zero sacrifice just rewards the least invested person. Throws in a little truth bomb. He says relationships should make your life easier. Oh yes, finally, we agree. Relationships get better through shared effort, not through a unilateral transaction where one person is doing majority of the work and the other person doesn't have to do anything because, that's just how it is. Relationships that make you better ask more of you, not less. More of the story is the reason why I hate accounts like these is because not only do they pander, they try to frame any expectations of a partner, especially when a man expects something from a woman, as some type of control that they want over them. Nobody ever sacrifices, then nobody was actually truthfully chosen in that relationship. Emotional sacrifice is not oppression. That is what a partnership is called. So hopefully that helps. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
That, and even if you say making my life easier, doesn't mean that it's not going to be difficult. Doesn't mean that you don't have to do certain things. You're still going to have to grind in some form or fashion. I'm making your life easier in that you don't have to do these things over here. But you might make my life easier in that I don't have to do some things myself anymore. Because my wife is better at that. Or my husband is better at that. That's how a team works. Y'all be talking about the team concept, the power couple concept, and the women be non-existent in that whole dynamic.
Feel so bad for men. I'm at the park walking and a woman approaches me. She seemed legitimately concerned about her safety and I'm like freaking out and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to help you out here? You want me to walk with you? You want me to walk you to your car? She brings up how eerie it is that she's alone at the park because there really wasn't that many people here. And then she mentions, I'm seeing these men and I'm like, okay, what are they doing? Like, what do we need to do? She's like casually talking to me and then she kind of walks ahead of me and she's still talking to me and stuff, which is fine. It's like, okay, what do I need to do? And she excuses herself and she's walking ahead of me because she walks really fast. And then she kept mentioning like she was further up the trail and she kept turning around and saying stuff to me like, oh, hopefully some more people will be here soon so we're not here by ourselves and all this stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Finally, I see the first guy that I've seen this whole time as I've been walking, and he's got his headphones in with his dog, just doing his thing, not bothering anyone. And most of the people I've been seeing here have just been women, you know, walking with their coffees or whatever it is. I mean, it's 11 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. I'm not saying bad things don't happen at that time, but to be freaking out. And I know some people have been through traumatic experiences and it makes them like this, like extra cautious. I can't imagine being a man and having to, you know, you're just minding your own business, doing your thing, and random people you don't even know treat you like you're a threat or like you're this horrible person. And I know before the ladies come at me, I know we have to be careful. I know that 1% of men might come after us, but this is self-inflicted.
Yes, I have a kid, but I don't want to date a guy with any kids, and here's why. Unless you're like a widower, why are you single? What did you fucking do? What did you do to the mother of your children? Because I know that girl did not want to break up a home. She did not want to do that. She did not want to be a single mother. I'm speaking from fucking experience. Literally, I told the father of my child, like every time he did something wrong that any person would leave in a relationship for, I would literally beg him to be normal and to get his life together and to be responsible, because I did not want to be a single mother. Did not. So if you, sir, have child, anything, and your baby mama is not on drugs and you have full custody of your children, dead, yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to, maybe she cheated on you. Okay, yeah, you probably started it. Let's just be real. I do not want a man with a child because something happened and it's his fault usually. I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, his fault. And you can say that I'm fucking whatever you want. All the men in my comments are going to be like, well, shut up. Already shut up. You haven't even said anything. Shut up. Thank you.
Once again, modern women, they're not self-aware. They're not self-aware at all. They think they're the only ones that do the right thing. Oh, if she did this, then that must mean. Really? So y'all don't do anything wrong ever? Y'all think y'all are perfect angels? It's the same concept of them thinking that they're the best looking person or one of the best looking people in the room. Why don't men approach attractive women? Are you calling yourself attractive? Just kind of like in an indirect way? Yes, they are. Oh, I'm attractive and they don't approach me. You're not. Are you a part of the club? Are you a part of the club? Is your attitude great? How do you conduct yourself on a daily basis? And, well, I conduct myself great. I conduct myself as I would want anyone to conduct themselves, you know, and be around me. I treat everybody like I would want them to treat me. No, you don't. You're a terrible person. You just look cute. That's literally it.
If you make the first move on a man, he's going to treat you like fast food, okay? He's going to show up and eat for sure. But it's going to be sometimes, it's going to be in an act of desperation. It's going to be at the wee hours of the morning. And in general, he's not going to take you seriously. He's going to see you as like option B, C, D, EFGHIJK. And don't get me wrong, I hate this conversation because I think that it feeds into the heteronormative, nonsensical BS standards and practices that don't really help anyone. The issue is that I have experience in this realm. I have an abundance of experience in this realm as a go-getter, as a bold baddie, one might say. Especially in my youth of youths, because I'm still in my youth, but especially in high school and in college, if I wanted something, I was going to try and get it. It didn't matter if I had to make the first chess move, checkers move, whatever you want to call it. And every single time I did, same ending. Every single time. And what must be recognized within this conversation is that horrible men do not like getting chased. And it's not that, it's not that they don't like getting chased. They actually love it. But if you chase a horrible man, he's never going to see you as the prize. A man that loves his mother and his sisters and his grandmother, and he's got great girlfriends that he loves and enjoys and appreciates. If you hit on that kind of man, he's going to be like,
Hi.
you know? But horrible men that would probably like, I don't know, rob you if given the opportunity. Like, they're gonna just see you as a fool, for the most part. Like, they're gonna start treating you like a bag of chips they got from a vending machine found in the basement of a motel. And I've been getting catcalled since I was 12. 12, okay. Men are not as selective as you want them to be, okay? They will see a raccoon cross the road and be like, why is it so thick?
Horrible men, meaning men that I am attracted to, but they're not attracted to me. These are the horrible men that I'm talking about. I'm a go-getter. It's really, honestly and truly, these modern women are the same. It's just some have more confidence than others. But they're doing the same thing. It's just that one has the confidence to go up and say, well, you know, he's cute. I'm going to go up to him and talk to him. Right? But he doesn't like you. The guy, I mean, if you play your cards right, you really don't have to go up to guys a lot. You really don't have to. They're going to come up to you. They're going to make themselves available to you because that's what they've been taught. And so no guy's ever come up to me. There's been a guy that's come up to you. There's been multiple guys that have come up to you. You've just, in a lot of these situations, found ways to disqualify them.
I've come to realize how many men there are that think that they need to be socially confident to approach women. And if they're not socially confident, like that man that walks in the club and, you know, walks around like he owns the place and he can walk up to a girl like it's nothing, a lot of you will sit there and compare yourselves to men like that and think, oh, you know, she's going to go for someone like that instead of someone like me. Let me tell you right now, the girls that you're going to want to approach, those girls are going to be more than happy at the fact that you thought about it 3 times, you started walking to her, you thought, shit, this is a bad idea, and you've gone back to your table, and then you've sat there thinking about it for 45 minutes, and then you've gone and actually done it. You've gotten the courage to do it. The fact that you've had to hesitate and think about it shows more that you care, shows that you've got more respect, and you know, you're willing to read the room, you're willing to read her energy, you're actually thinking about it, you've got a conscience about it. Because the men that don't have a conscience about it, and they will just go up to anyone, no matter how confident they are. Just trust me, the girls that you're going to want to actually approach and take home to your parents, they're the girls that are going to admire the fact that you've thought about it a million times before approaching her. If a guy comes up to me and he's shy or he's stuttering in his words, you know, and you can tell he's so nervous, that means more to me than anything. When you do finally get the courage to approach her and she makes you feel belittled or stupid and dumb and you go home thinking, why the hell did I do that? I'm never going to do that again. That's not on you, that's on her. Trust me, if a girl does that to you, just be happy that she didn't let you approach her. You're not going to want girls like that.
Well, that's, I think, you know, when you say, well, that's not on you, that's on her. Well, yeah, it should be until she puts me on TikTok. Then it becomes something that's on me. That's where I get involved, because if I get rejected, I can just walk away. There's, you know, no hard feelings. My ego may be bruised a little bit, but I don't really lose anything from it. When she starts to put me on TikTok, that's when it changed.
So I guess my question is, if there are going to be such giant leaps in the partner's standard of life by marrying an educated or well-established woman, why is it that so many women who have higher educations or who are more successful are still single?
This is a great question, and I'm going to give my take on it and let you know what I think. But first, I want to listen to the part of the video you said right before the part that I started with.
And yet, now that we live together and we're family planning, we have a really impressive joint income, and we both work from home in jobs we love, so our kids will always have a mom at home. And there are so many massive benefits because I have a degree and because of my education. So I guess my question is,
so not all, but a lot of them don't want to work as a partner like you do. You take your success and your benefits and you're putting them together with your partner so that y'all can have a great life. Not only I, but many of people I know, many of men I know, when they've tried to date the, successful woman, a lot of times they run into the problem where they don't want to work as a partner. They want the man to take care of everything, but they want to be valued for being successful and whatnot, but they don't want to actually contribute as a partner like you do. So I'm not going to say that's all, but that's probably a big ordeal when it comes to that, and why you will sit there and see so many women who are successful and beautiful and whatnot, because they're looking for that person to come through and take care of everything, which is totally fine. Like I said, I'm not hating. I'm just stating a fact that, many of men have experienced this. So it's okay. Date how y'all want. Just,
I asked 60,000 women on Instagram, what should men do to be more successful with women? The number one answer, not money, not looks, not a six-pack or six-figure salary. Women said the most attractive thing a man can do is go to therapy. Therapy. And honestly, I think they're right.
She's saying right here in the comments, for me, the main point is that women value partners, because she's talking to somebody. Somebody said something and she's kind of responding. So he says, general go to therapy isn't helpful if they don't know the specific issue to work on. She says, for me, the main point is that women value partners who are working on themselves. Everyone has their own issues they can bring to therapy, but the readiness to do it, that's what's important. Yes, but then there are also things outside of therapy. The therapist is probably going to tell you at some point in time, you need to share, if it's a good therapist, you need to share these feelings in a healthy way with your woman. And that's where the train goes off the tracks. Because men have shared, hey, I think I'm feeling this, and this, and I'm feeling worried, I'm feeling concerned. And then women will come right back around and say, oh, well, I want to be there for him. I want to understand what he's going through. But when he said that I'm not going to lie, that made me feel uneasy. That made me feel unsafe. And right then and there, I lost respect for him.
I'm 31 years old and single, and I recently deleted all of my dating apps. And one goal I had for 2026 was to actually approach men more. Because I'm not on dating apps, the only way I have to meet people is by going out. But I think it's an unrealistic expectation for me to think that it's only a guy's job to come up and approach me. So I'm happy to report that I actually approached a man last night. And let's talk about what I said, what I did, and what happened. Last night, I was out to dinner with one of my girlfriends, and I saw this guy walk in, and I go to my girlfriend, I go, oh, he's handsome. I saw him go sit at the bar by himself, and I was kind of waiting for someone to come and join him, and then no one ever joined him. So I said to my girlfriend, I go, I think he's here alone. And we waited about 30 minutes to confirm that. And then what I also did, and I highly recommend this, is I asked my waitress, hey, do you know him? Has he been here before? Has he ever brought a girl in here? Because I had no idea if he was single or not. And luckily our waitress had some intel. She overheard him say to someone else that it was his first time here, and the gentleman he was talking to at the bar was a regular. So it did confirm that he was there by himself. So what did I do? What did I say? I said to my girlfriend, once we were done with dinner, I'm gonna go over and give him my business card. And before going over, I kind of had a game plan as to what I was going to say. This way, when I got over there, I wasn't thinking of something to say. So what I did was I walked over, and the first thing I said was, excuse me, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just have to say, I think you are so handsome. And in case you're single, here's my number, here's my business card, and slid my business card onto the table. And I said, but I have to run because my girlfriend's outside, but it's so nice to meet you. I'm Bridget. He introduced himself. And I said, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And then I just walked outside and met my girlfriend, and about an hour later, he texted me. And when he texted me, he said, "Hey, it's blank from the restaurant." And I answered and I said, "Oh, I guess this means you're single." Which he laughed and said, "Yes, it does mean I'm single." And I said, "That's great news." And then he asked me what I was up to right then and there, and I told him, and turns out he was across the street with his friends grabbing a drink. So my friend and I went and met his friends. So ladies, shoot your shot, delete your dating apps, go out to dinner solo, and start shooting your shot. Like, it is not as scary as you think it is, and you can make it as quick and easy as sliding your number saying, "Hey, I think you're handsome. If you're single, text me." That is it. But honestly, you have nothing to lose by shooting your shot, because what's the worst case scenario? They don't text you back, or they're in a relationship. All right. So I'm glad I just printed 1,000 of my business cards last week, because I will continue handing those out.
In order to be successful, a lot of men have to figure out how to manipulate their environment to the cards they have been dealt. So a man might be short, so he has to figure out how to make things work for him. He has to figure out, hey, I need to improve on my personality. I need to have a really standout personality. A man that's tall might say, people always think of me as some tall guy who doesn't have a lot of brains. I just look good. I need to stand out and make sure they understand that, hey, I'm not just tall. I know what the heck I'm talking about. So that's why you should come choose me. I have to adapt. I have to play the cards I'm dealt. Modern women want the cards that they were dealt to be put back at the bottom of the pile, and you give me the cards that I need, that I want. Not that I need, that I want. And if I don't get the cards that I want, keep on pulling. And I'll continue to push back the cards that I don't want. And then, I'll have you continue to give me, as a matter of fact, give me the whole deck. Give me the deck so I can figure out and pick out what I want and put back what I don't want. That's how they do to men. I'm going to pick out what I do want and then put back what I don't want. I want this version of the man and not these things that come along with it. That's how they live their life. And so now you're learning that you can't do that. You're learning, well, shoot, I just got to roll with the punches. I got to adapt. I got to figure out what works for me. How I can get the man. I'm a little bit too shy to just be walking up on a man and saying, "Hey, what's up? Give me your number." I'm just going to give him my business card and say, "Hey, if you're interested, here's my business card." And he texts me, and hopefully we go out on a date. That's one way to do it. And the more you do it, you'll get more confident with it. And you'll say, okay, well, I don't have any business cards. So let me write my name down on a piece of paper or something like that. Or I want to get a little creative. Let me see if the bartender will help me out and say, hey, I got a girl that comes here all the time. She's pretty cute. She's down at the end of the bar there. And, I wanted to see if you might be interested. Oh man, that's lame. Yeah, it may be, but I'm just testing different things out. I'm trying to adapt to the environment. I'm trying to get the man to notice me. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to get him to notice me instead of sitting back there and not making no eye contact, making temporary and spotty eye contact, not really doing anything to let the man know that you're interested. You start to say, okay, since the men ain't approaching, since, they're not coming up to me, what can I do? Because y'all think about stuff all day long on the job. What can I do in order to get his attention without overextending myself?
I do kind of like when women approach me. It's nice to see women that know what they want. Like the women playing too hard to get. I ain't never really had like that too much. I do like a woman that's social, like when, like if I approach you, at least, have the decency, just to hold a conversation, even if it's brief, like, I'm seeing somebody or whatever. Yeah. All right, cool. I'll back up, do my thing. Well, nice meeting you, take care. But all that rude stuff and all that's kind of crazy. I'm in a relationship right now. And let my mouth get me in too much trouble this time.
The
saw the hottest man. I saw like 3 hot men today in my hot yasa class, like my hot yoga class. Why don't we say anything? Why do I have to be the one to say something? Fuck. I understand. It's so uncomfortable to like go up to someone cute and be like, hey. Because for every person that is like on TikTok being like, well, you could approach a man, like, bitch, I have been. And are the men just gonna be like, hey, do you wanna grab a coffee? Hey, what's your name? Hey, do you go to this class a lot? Like, there are so many ways to slide in, and I'm kind of low-key pissed off that I'm like upset that I didn't say something to a man. What do you mean? Bitch, what do you mean? Why am I upset? I just don't understand why it's like not that easy for men, because it's so easy. Literally just ask the girl one of those fucking questions if you see someone out like that. Don't look at this shirt, it's my work shirt and it's got stains, okay? Leave me alone. Go up to the girl and be like, no, just ask the question first. Just be like, hey, been doing this class a lot? And then, like, if the girl is uncomfortable or she has a man, she'll tell you. Trust me, she'll tell you. Why do I feel like I have to approach a man? Why can't the man just do it? Because it just hits even worse, and it's even more embarrassing when the girl shoots her shot, like when she already shouldn't be, and then the man's like, oh, I actually have a girlfriend. I fucking can't. Why am I getting mad that I didn't go up to this man? Fuck, this isn't my problem. This has never been my problem. Women can go approach men, but listen, I've done it like 3 times in a row in the last 4 days, and I'm kind of sick of it. I'm kind of fucking sick of it. So men, really, there is nothing to lose. I promise it doesn't hurt your ego that bad. I promise. I went up to a DJ and I thought he was hot, and he was like the opening DJ, and he was, you know, in the background in Chicago, and I literally go to him and I was like, you're really cute. And he was like, I'm seeing someone. And I was like, that's totally fine. You're a great DJ. And I moved on with my life. It wasn't that fucking hard. Well, I'm doing what I'm doing, which is approaching men. Why can't you guys just also do the same? Can we just like meet fucking halfway, please? Let me just remind you men that seriously, the moment you come up to me and you say something like that, like it's a simple, easy line. Don't be fucking weird and cheesy. But just be like, hey, dude, you come here often? Or like you come to this like gossip class? Or do you do this like 9 a.m. class all the time? Something like that. I immediately am like, oh, he's hot. Oh, he's fucking sexy. Without even like maybe being attracted to you physically. I'm just like, damn, this guy's got balls. I appreciate that, and I'm fucking here for it. Imagine if women and men were just approaching each other, and if it wasn't to go out and to go on a date, just to have stimulating conversation with other adults. Just imagine that. Imagine if what I picture to be happening in my head, or what should be happening in my head post a yoga class, what if it actually fucking happened? Riddle me that. Let's make it happen, please.
Y'all have to start talking because y'all told men not to approach anymore. Y'all told them not to approach. And number 1, number 2, even if y'all weren't the ones hollering not to approach, y'all do things. Y'all might not say, so y'all might not tell that man in his face to not approach, but y'all will have on your social media that people can find, that people can see. Y'all will have on your social media, oh, I ain't taking this, I ain't doing this. And it'll be a whole bunch of nonsense. And when a man sees that, men see that, and they have an applicable or an appropriate response, then all of a sudden it's like, why do I have to go up to men? Why do you think?
Some men, not my clients, but some men I've noticed are sliding into this thing where they'll engage with a woman, they'll talk to a woman, they'll be cool, sweet, maybe even open a door, but they wait for the woman to initiate the date because they either don't want to be rejected, or they don't have the courage, they don't want to be called a creep, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But understand that if you're doing that, if you're wanting the woman to initiate, then she's also going to expect to be the one who's in control of the relationship. Because no one's going to give you the control, no one's going to give you that respect if you don't have the guts to go after what you want.
When you say initiate, do you mean they'll wait for the woman to make her interest readily apparent? Is that what you mean? Because that's different from initiating the date.
I just want to know what mental illness y'all be having when y'all be bragging. Type of some, yeah, me and my man look at girls together. What? Girl, what are you talking about right now? I just want to know what mental illness y'all be having when y'all be bragging. Type of some, yeah, me and my man look at girls together. What? Girl, what are you talking about?
Wait, hold on. Because I'm trying to understand something. And please, let me know in the comment section. So, a lot of you women, when y'all are single, or even when y'all are in a relationship, y'all be quick to give another woman a compliment, admire her beauty. Oh, I'm no better than a man. Oh, he can't fight all of us. But as soon as a man is admiring another woman's beauty, why are you looking at her? It's giving y'all are insecure. It's really giving that. And another thing I keep saying, a lot of you women really want to change men into the way that you think as women. It's not going to happen. Instead of just accepting men for how they are individually and sometimes in general, you'll have a lot better understanding of how to move with men. Admiring another person's beauty is not saying that I am going to fuck them. I want to make that part very abundantly clear. A lot of you bitches are in marriages and you be admiring celebrities. He's so fine. Let's keep it a buck. And don't come in my comment section talking about I only have eyes for my man. I don't want to hear y'all. Stop it. Having eyes for your man means that you just won't cheat on him. But you're not fucking blind and not seeing that there's other attractive people out there. Please, miss me with all that. Y'all continue to tell on yourselves every single time on this damn app. Y'all continue to tell on yourselves. It's y'all's mindset, ladies, that a lot of y'all are just... It's almost like a cry out for help, but yet you won't want no help because you're so independent. But it's y'all's mindset. Y'all don't think before y'all really get on this internet and say what you're about to say. I'll say 90%. I believe a lot of y'all don't even re-watch your own video before you put it on the internet. And if you do, I'm about 100% sure that a lot of y'all are like, yep, this ate, it's gonna get me the views. I know it.
I think it's another level if your man or your woman is saying, oh, they got a big chest, or it looks like he got a big print, or it looks like she got a big butt, like specific stuff like that. There's certain levels of respect, I think, that people are trying to get to. So while you will inevitably see somebody that looks attractive, I think the issue is the respect that you show to somebody else, and not parading that other person around with your words like, oh, look at that, man, that thing is fat, or oh man, that thing is bulging at me. Like, if I wasn't married to you, I would jump on that man right now. Maybe not that type of stuff.
Girls, if you're dating and getting irritated by men, I need you to listen to this. Listen, do not spend any time, any attention on a man that you were in not some way being compensated for enough that if he turns out to be an annoying idiot, you don't care. Like, when he's yapping and being annoying and you text him back, what are you getting? What are you getting out of that? Nothing. Stop texting him back. He has annoyed you. Next. It's too soon to be getting annoyed. No. Okay, if you went on a date and he turned out to be an idiot, did you get a nice dinner? Did you go shopping? Did he buy you something, groceries, anything? Like, if he's not and he's annoying and now you're annoyed, it didn't work out. Stop. This is good for men too, because you're showing up to dates happy, pleasant, and not tainted with negative thoughts.
No. Y'all need to just start saying that y'all are selling it. And let's just get it out the way.
Okay, so I've never really been embarrassed that I have been chronically single for like 10 years until this one guy's response to me was just so diabolical that I literally wanted to hide under the covers. I was just like, wanted to just hide because I was like, yeah, it's been 10 years, like, leave me alone. And he's just like, that Kevin Hart meme where the guy's like Kevin Hart's like, hey, like, that's kind of how he responded to me. And I was just like, oh my God, I just want to hide.
If you are truly introspective and honest with yourself, then you know where you are on a spectrum, right?
Yes.
Of like dating desirability.
Mhm.
Ronnie, you talked about it. I can tell myself I'm a woman of a certain shape. I'm a woman of a certain size. I'm a woman of a certain hue, right? Like I'm a woman of a certain age,
Yeah.
right? I can reasonably understand how that impacts my dating prospects,
Yes.
right? I'm of the mindset that if you have the resources to hire a trainer, or you have the resources to go to the gym, you have the resources to hire a meal prep company to prep like your meals, that's all I'm saying. And I want to reiterate that it's not about being superficial. It's about positioning yourself in the world in the best way that you can to get what it is that you want, and not being delusional or unrealistic about the power of your appearance as a woman to attract the type of man that you want to build and grow your life with.
Ladies, I'm going to give you the perfect example of why we need to get more comfortable shooting our shot with men. There are a lot of men out there who are really great, who are not going to shoot their shot with you for a variety of reasons. Now, I used to be of the mindset of if you're too scared to talk to me, then I'm not interested. But I've realized a lot of the good ones that we actually want are not actually cocky enough to think that we're going to like them, and they're respectful enough that they don't want to make us uncomfortable. So even if they might be attracted and interested, they refrain from shooting their shot unless they get a very clear signal that we are interested. Now, I obviously knew this, and because of this, I've gotten more comfortable being more flirtatious and a little bit more overt with my interests. But I had an interaction recently that's made me realize that even that is not always enough. And sometimes we gotta take it a step further. So I'm at this event. It's like a professional networking event, which is where I meet most of the men who I'm interested in. And I'm talking to this guy. Now, I was talking to him for a couple hours. Like, the event was a very long event. So in total, throughout the course of the event, I spent several hours talking to this man. And when I first saw him, I was like, oh, he's actually really cute. And then I got to know his personality a little bit, and I'm like, okay, he's really funny, he has a good personality, he's smart, he keeps coming back around me, like clearly there's some mutual interest here, even if it's just like on a friendly level. So now I'm like, okay, let's kick this up a notch. So I start being a little more flirty. You know, I'm standing closer to him, I'm giving really good eye contact, I'm breaking the touch barrier, I've laughed, grabbed his arm a couple times. Subtle things that should be enough to indicate that I'm interested, but not enough to make him uncomfortable if he had no interest. But I'm thinking like definitely enough to pick up on. So as I'm doing this, we're having a conversation about what's going on around us. And he makes a comment about how he loves to come to events like these because he likes to watch the interactions between other people. He said he's very socially attuned, and he can always tell when he's watching two people interact if they're hitting it off. And he loves to guess if two people are gonna go try and hook up with each other. And then he said, I'm usually right about all of my assumptions, which kind of caught me off guard because I'm thinking like, well, I'm sitting here flirting with you and you don't seem to be picking up on any of my signals. So I'm like, oh, really? That's interesting. And then he goes, yeah, I'm really good with everybody except myself. And I said, oh, what do you mean by that? And he goes, I'm very oblivious and I can never tell if someone is flirting with me. So I'm like, no, you have to be able to tell. If you can tell with other people, you have to be able to tell if people are flirting with you. And he goes, no, I can't tell at all. I'm very dense. I cannot pick up on hints. And unless someone explicitly states that they are interested, I have no idea. Now I'm standing there and I'm like, was this him asking if I'm flirting with him? Like, was this my window to say something? I think it was, but it caught me so off guard that I didn't say anything. So I just asked him like, oh, well, why is that? And he said, well, you know, I've been wrong before. I don't like misinterpreting signals, and I never want to be the person that's going to do something or say something to put a woman in an uncomfortable position. Now, a little context on this guy. He's a good looking guy. He's tall, smart, and successful, but he's not that type of guy that's like, oh, Mr. Hot Stuff. And even though he's good looking, he's probably not someone that women are like throwing themselves at. And he obviously doesn't have a big ego. Now, this is the type of guy that I'm going for. So to hear him say that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to rethink my whole strategy. Now, I didn't say anything in the moment because I was very caught off guard and was not on my toes like that. And it was a professional event and just felt like a very high risk situation to say something like so overtly obvious, like, hey, I'm interested in you. So I didn't really know how to navigate that. And he doesn't even live in my state, so it just didn't feel like it was worth the risk. But I did get his number. So if I'm still single by the time I ever find myself in his state, I guess I will use it and play the long game and be prepared to be a little bit more direct when I see him again, if I ever see him again. So regardless of whether anything actually comes of this, this was a huge learning experience and very eye-opening. And there are probably a ton of guys that are just like him that we are all missing out on because we are too scared to say something. And you can argue that they shouldn't be scared to say something either. But if we're talking about a long-term investment in a man, I personally would rather be with the one that's too afraid to approach a woman because he doesn't want to make her feel uncomfortable, instead of the one that has no fear and is running around shooting his shot at everybody.
I mean, if you don't want to go shoot your shot in terms of, hey, I'm interested in you, you're cute. I mean, at some point in time, just like y'all want men to start thinking about how they can approach you in a safe way, safe, effective, non-threatening way, maybe y'all should think about how y'all can get men to approach. How can I get him to understand that I'm not a bad person? How can I get him to understand that, hey, I'm not going to do any crazy stuff?
I was at a dating event last night and I was talking to these girls about how guys never, approach women anymore in public. And I think that's obviously that's kind of like a known fact now. And I know girls, we don't want to be the ones to have to do it. But let me tell you, I've been doing it, okay? I've been doing it, I feel like, the past year. Sometimes it takes me a little liquid courage. But I will go up to a guy, if he's passing me at a bar, I will stop him, grab him on the arm and be like, who are you? Sometimes I will sometimes if I'm scared to actually say something to him, I'll write my number on a napkin. And if I'm with a group and he's with a group, and I've done that several times. One time he was talking to other girls and I tapped him on the shoulder and he turned around and I didn't want to interrupt the whole group, but he turned around and I was like, oh my gosh, I tapped him and I was like, I think you dropped this. And it was a napkin with my number on it. And, and then he texted me and, I've done that a few times. I think that, okay, I'm still single. None of these have been the thing that worked, but let me tell you, ladies, it makes me feel so brave. I'm sick of waiting around for a guy to do it. And yeah, I want to be pursued, but I'm also a pretty outgoing, wear the pants kind of gal. So I think it's a good test if a guy doesn't like me approaching and doesn't like my, sort of can-do attitude. It shows that we're not going to be a good match because that's sort of my personality. And I don't want to be that all the time. I think, then once I give him the go ahead and we get each other's numbers or whatever ends up happening, I want sort of him to take the reins then planning the date. I don't do any of that. But all I can say is I know that it's scary, but do you know what's worse is leaving the situation and thinking about that hot guy that you didn't talk to and being what if that was my misconnection? What if that was the guy? And you didn't do anything about it. And he didn't do anything about it either, but it's we're not living in a rom-com, unfortunately, because that's my favorite genre. We're not. Guys just don't do it. They won't do it. We're just in the era, we're in the age where it's we have to do it ourselves, okay? We have to do it ourselves. And I know there are outliers, I know there's exceptions, and I'm so happy for you ladies that have experienced that. But it's guys are scared. I've talked to a lot of them that they just don't want to approach women because we're scary. Rightfully so, because we're awesome. But listen, the biggest lesson that I've learned, it's no, have I got a boyfriend from this? But no, I haven't. But I feel brave. I feel strong, and I feel really satisfied afterwards. Even if nothing comes from it, even if he goes, oh, I've got a girlfriend, even though if they give me cardboard energy, I'm wasn't my guy. Keep it moving. It's a little bit of a bummer, but I don't know. I just cannot stress doing it and doing it enough and doing it yourself, because it makes you feel really, it just makes you feel really proud of yourself afterwards. And I don't know why guys aren't doing it more, because I'm like, it gives you a thrill. Maybe I'm like a little bit of a thrill seeker. I mean, I don't like to jump out of planes, but I do like to talk to boys in the wild. And it scratches some itch that I'm obviously missing in my life. And anyway, I am rambling, but ladies, write on the napkin, grab his arm. You know, I don't know. I can like tell you some of my other moves that I do, but like I just like go talk to the boy. He might not be the guy, but it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. Go talk to the boy.
So guy said in the comments, all we ask for is a green light. We'll do the rest. Other guy says, he responded by saying, they think just looking at you is a green light. Now this woman here, I'll tell you, that was bold. That was bold. You dropping that napkin and picking it up and said, hey, you dropped this? That's a bold move, Cotton. That's a bold move, Cotton. That's respect. Respect. You know, I see your game.